Welcome to Sunny in Seattle with your host, Sunny Joy.
And coming up on today's show, Sunny will be having return special guest, Sara Landon. She's one of Sunny's favorite spiritual advisors to the people with big dreams and channel of the Council. And the two of them will be chatting about how to reach greater levels of joy, love, health, wealth, and fulfillment through the most profound, beautiful, and loving wisdom, of course, from Sara and the Council. And now we welcome your host for the day, Sunny Joy.
And good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Sunny in Seattle. I am your host, attorney turned life coach, Sunny Joy McMillan, and we are here every Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Alternative Talk, 1150 a.m. KKNW, bringing you amazing coaches and teachers, authors, and healers, all of whom are on a mission to encourage you, inspire you, and give you tools to live a life filled with peace, joy, freedom, and purpose. It is radio that positively shines. And if you can't catch the show live, you can always go back to the show archives, which are found at 1150kknw.com. You can also connect with me via Facebook. And of course, I'm there by my name, but I want to make sure that you guys know about the Sunny in Seattle Radio Facebook page. So if you go to Facebook and just search for Sunny in Seattle Radio, that page, we will have links to upcoming guests. And today we have a special little freebie there for you, gifted very generously from our amazing guest today, Sara Landon. This is actually a 3-part webinar series from the Council. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later, but I just want to make sure I mention this a lot during the show because the link for that gift is on the Sunny in Seattle Radio Facebook page. You can also find out more about me and connect with me for coaching through my website, which is goldenoversoul.com. That's goldenoversoul.com. And there's a contact form on that website. If you ever want to reach out to me or you have questions after the show, anything like that, always you can do that through my website, goldenoversoul.com. Also, one more website for you guys that I want to mention, and I will continue to plug this probably for the foreseeable future, but I want to make sure everybody knows they can get a free copy of my book. And the book is Unhitched, Unlock Your Courage and Clarity, and Unstick Your Bad Marriage. And it's not going to be available in stores until probably around December 2018 or January 2019. So that's a little while. But I would love for you to have a free copy, and that's like the Kindle version or the ebook version that you can get. The way to do that is to go to the website unhitchedbook.com. Unhitchedbook.com, and there you can download that book for free. So let's see. So Benny and I were talking before we came on today about we've got an important basketball game this evening that I am a little bit interested in.
You're a bit of a fan there. Look
yes,
at you.
I'm all decked out in my Dubs gear. For those out there who don't follow the NBA, it is, of course, Game 4, and the Warriors and the Cavaliers will be back. I guess they've been in Cleveland. But this would be the night that the Warriors may sweep it. Mm-hmm. But I kind of want it to go on a little longer, and I want them to go back to Oracle Stadium, and I want them to get to take it home and win. So,
I think they should get the win no matter what. Be dominant.
I know. I think Kevin Durant, who used to be a Sonic, for those of you from Seattle who, lost your teams.
I didn't want to get
Thank you, Howard Schultz, for selling them to Oklahoma. Anyway, so
we're not bitter.
I know.
Just like their coffee. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding.
Okay.
I want them to sponsor
I do have to say, I don't know a lot about Howard Schultz other than he did sell the Sonics, and he has done some pretty cool initiatives within his company, so I have to honor that. Again, I don't know what he's really like as a person, but anywho, Kevin Durant now plays for the Warriors, and I think he was saying in terms of tonight, he was like, look, we don't want to tempt fate. Like you take the win if you're going to, we can do it, we're going to take the win. So
they'll probably play a little easier because they have a little bit of a buffer. They have a 3-game buffer. I mean, they've got to roll 4 straight, Cleveland does.
Right.
I mean, 4 straight is tough.
Right. And I say, I know that Cleveland kind of cleaned house earlier this year, but it's more like the Warriors versus LeBron. And I feel he's been carrying a lot on his very large shoulders for a while now. So
he does have large shoulders.
He is amazing, man. He is an athlete. But in any event, I will just personally wish the Warriors good luck this evening, and we'll look forward to seeing them play.
There you go. Dubs.
Go Dubs. Okay, so Benny, anything else on your front?
Nope.
Anything exciting?
Other than the earlier discussion, but we'll get into that.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. So So before we dive into our discussion, I want to welcome back with a huge warm welcome. Can we get some applause for Sara?
Sure, yeah.
Yes, Sara Landon. Welcome back to sunny in Seattle.
And hello. I am so excited to be here with you two. This is so much fun. So thank you.
Yes. And for those who have not caught her other episodes, you can, of course, search for those in the archives. I think she was on in January. Most recently, it was January 2018, if you want to look in the archives. But Sara Landon is a globally celebrated transformational leader, visionary entrepreneur, spiritual advisor, and a channel of the Council. The Council is an energetic presence of non-physical beings whose expanded awareness and higher level consciousness are guiding people to answer the profound questions: who am I? Why am I here? And what's my life's purpose? Together, Sara and the Council are fueling spiritual growth and personal transformation all around the world by helping people to reach greater levels of joy, love, health, wealth, and fulfillment in their lives. Their profound and powerful teachings have proven life-changing to countless people who have applied their wisdom to create positive change in their careers, businesses, relationships, bodies, and daily lives. And I am one of those people, and I will tell you guys a little bit more about that as we get into the show. So whether you've been on a spiritual path your entire life or you're just beginning to awaken to the power within you, an experience with Sara and the Council can indeed be described as coming home to your own truth, which is quite possibly the gift of a lifetime. And I would agree with that. So find out more about her by going to the website saralandon.com. Sara is spelled S-A-R-A. So no H on the end of that. So S-A-R-A, saralandon.com. And again, please don't forget to go grab that free gift. This is a webinar that Sara often does with the Council, these wonderful 3 or more part webinars. And this one is a 3-part webinar that you can get for free. Go to the Sunny in Seattle Radio Facebook page, and the download is there for you. And yeah, the teachings are just amazing. And so we'll talk to Sara a little bit more about that if you have not heard of them before. So I will just say my intro to the Council came through a friend here in Seattle who's no longer in Seattle. She's in Bend, Oregon now, but Ricky Harmon. She said, you've got to listen to the Council. And because I'm not shy about it. I love channeled teachings. I don't believe every channel out there is legitimate. I think use your discernment and find your truth, or feel for what resonates of truth for you. For me, the Council was an immediate yes, and resonated deeply, and I had to know more. Called Sara, we got to talking, and now she's been on the show many times, and I consider her a very dear friend and a colleague, and hopefully we'll get her back to Seattle. She's in Santa Barbara now. But I will say that the Council's teachings, and I'll have Sara speak to this a little bit, it's not just the words, but it's a vibrational experience. And so I have these teachings on my iPhone, and I call it my emotional speed dial list. So when I have days that are kind of down, and, I used to have in my business some days that were harder than others when things were at the very beginning and there was a lot of fear and there was a lot of struggle. And what I would do if there was ever a morning when I just thought, I can't get out of bed and face this, I don't know how I'm going to make this work, or, there's just too much for me to handle right now. And I would just put on the teachings of the Council and just get myself out of bed, make a cup of tea or coffee, and just let the teachings basically absorb into my energetic being, into my person, and it changes everything, or it did for me. And so, Sara, I don't want to just hijack the whole show. I want you to start talking, but why don't you tell us a little bit about who the Council is? And I also, for those who haven't heard, I know we've got a lot of regular listeners out here, and have got a lot of your folks are going to be listening. So I don't want to spend, half the show talking about your story, because we absolutely could. But what from your story would you share to kind of let people know who the Council is and how you came to be a channel for them?
Oh, good question. Well, I'll tell you a story. My dad, not too long ago, said, Sarah, when did you decide you wanted to start, channeling the Council and doing that? And I said, Dad, I still haven't decided that I want to do it. It's choiceless. It's what I do. And it really was not something I was pursuing. As you know, I was in the corporate world. I lived in Seattle for 16 years. And my life was very different 10 years ago, and a series of events occurred which really woke me up, and I realized I was not living my truth, although, to look at my life at the time, it looked like what we all want, right? The great career, the husband, the house, the cars, the money. But inside, I really knew I was not living my truth, and I didn't really know what that was. I just knew where I wasn't it.
Yep.
And if you're willing and you have a little courage and you will follow your curiosity and your passions and explore the things that you're interested in, your purpose will unfold through your exploring of what you're interested in. And it led me on this incredible journey to finding my truth and discovering what my purpose here was. But it was all divinely orchestrated. There are things that happened and people that showed up in my life that I could never have imagined, that I could have never orchestrated on my own. And so what I like to remind people is that remember that your soul has the highest perspective of what's going on here. We're in this human experience, and we're these spiritual beings having this human experience, and we are limited. The personality that you know as you and Benny and Sunny and me, right, is perceiving life through our physical senses. So our brain perceives our reality by what we see and what we hear and what we touch and what we taste and what we smell.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that's what's real, and we think that's all that's going on. But there's so much more going on. And the council said, if you knew the things being orchestrated on your behalf, behind the scenes, you would laugh and you would never spend another moment stressed or worried, because everything is always being orchestrated to work out in your highest and best good. And you will get where you're supposed to go. You will figure out what your purpose is. You will meet the people that are meant for you on your path. Just allow it. Get in alignment to your joy. Do the things that you're passionate about, and your purpose will unfold. I certainly was not looking to channel non-physical beings and higher level consciousness and awareness. That was not my plan. You ever had an experience where you're like, oh, I have this plan. I was one of those kind of type A overachievers like you, Sunny, and
Yep.
I had a plan, my 5-year plan, my 3-year plan, my 1-year plan, and, what it was all going to look like. And sometimes the very best things in our life are the things that are not in your plan, the things that show up on the way to what you think you want.
Yeah.
But if you will just keep your heart open and keep moving forward, your path will unfold in the most beautiful, harmonious ways.
Yeah.
And it's scary sometimes.
Yes, and that was one of my primary questions for today. But before we dive into that, I want to just point out, so I feature Sara in my book because her story, I will just, Sara, if you don't mind, point out two things.
Yeah.
So Sara, while she was in her 20s, was diagnosed with malignant melanoma. So that was one of the things that was definitely probably not on your plan, but opened the door for other things. And your brother also passed. And so for people out there who are experiencing pretty severe life traumas, given how those were catalytic for you, what advice do you have for folks out there?
Yeah. So at the time, and I would lump my divorce
yes, of
into
course.
that as well.
Yeah.
Those things at the time when they were happening, I thought were the worst things that ever happened in my life. And I felt like my life would never be good again, that it would never be the same. And it's true. It will not ever be the same when you go through these incredible life-changing experiences. But on the other side of it, what I can promise you is that whatever is happening in your life right now, it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. I promise you. I could look anyone in the eye and promise you that there is a gift, there is a blessing, there is an opportunity in whatever you're going through, and you're never going to be the same, and that is a wonderful thing, even when it includes something really difficult, like death or disease, loss of a loved one, divorce, financial devastation, all of these things. I experienced that as well after leaving my corporate world and having a lot of financial responsibilities and setting off on a path as an entrepreneur. And, went through my own experience with financial struggles that I never would have imagined would happen to me or happen for me.
Yeah.
But whatever you're going through, keep going. And it's one of my favorite quotes from Steve Jobs that you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So you have to trust in something greater than yourself, that something more is going on here. And if you will just keep moving forward, at some point you will see that this event, whatever it is, was a blessing in your life.
Yeah, I have that quote in my book for that very reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when we get the hang of this a little bit, we no longer judge things as bad or good. We can honor the emotion in it. We can honor maybe the grief when we feel in a loss of a loved one or a relationship. We can honor the sadness we feel about something in our life going away. But we no longer get stuck in this dark hole, feeling like a victim and feeling like things are wrong, or that, God has let us down. We begin to see things differently. And when things happen, we don't judge it as good or bad. We're in the accepting of what is, which allows us to find peace in any situation. So whatever is going on in your life, the first step is to accept exactly where you are right now. Because the thing that's making you feel so awful about the situation is your judgment of it, usually the judgment of yourself, which often is accompanied by shame, which is the heaviest, densest human emotion. And we are usually in resistance to what is or in reaction to what is, which is what makes the situation feel so awful. And when we are in resistance and when we are in reaction to what is, we are not in alignment to a creative space. We're no longer in the flow. We are no longer aligned to allowing our highest and best good. And so it feels really isolating. It feels really tight. It feels like you're stuck. It feels overwhelming. So the first step is to accept just the way it is right now. And if you can do that, just really be present to this moment, not pushing against it, and accept just the way it is right now, the instant manifestation will be a feeling of peace. Peace in your heart, peace in your life, peace in the situation. And that's really what you're going for, because once you get from a place of resistance and reaction to a state of peace, you can begin to move forward. Things will get lighter. It will get easier.
Yeah.
And my newest favorite affirmation is, everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. No matter what you're going through, if you're stressed and you're worried, which is usually if we're going through change, we don't know how it's going to look, even if it's a change we ourselves asked for or created. And we always create it. But if you're going through something and you don't know how it's all going to work out, or you have a concern about a particular aspect of it not working out, catch yourself when you go into those moments of fear or worry and stop and affirm to yourself, everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. And just continue to affirm that. You are reprogramming your subconscious mind. And when you do that, your surroundings have to respond to your beliefs. That's how powerful you are. Whatever is happening in your life is mirroring to you what you believe consciously or unconsciously. And when you shift those beliefs, everything in your life will also shift. And you will see that everything always works out for you. I could give you 20 different stories just in this last month of incredible things that have happened, not only in my life, but the lives of people I do sessions with and do coaching with. that practice this, because it really does work if you'll just apply it. Everything is always working out for me.
Well, if you have a story you'd like to share, I love stories. So if you want to share one, please do. Otherwise, I have a question to follow up with.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I'll just tell you one of my favorite ones. I have a very dear, special person that's part of our master's class program that's done several sessions with the council, and she built a little house and has been living there for a while and really wanted to move but was having some health challenges. And so she kind of in her heart felt like this was the time that she wanted to sell the house. Mm-hmm. And so she put it on the market, and all these fears come up, like what's about the buyer and how it's going to work. And so she called me, and I said, just keep affirming. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. So she did. And not only did she get one offer, she got several offers. She got an offer for a considerable about more than what she was even expecting to get, mm-hmm. with exactly the closing she wanted and no inspection. And it's just like, it's so phenomenal, because all this fear was coming up, and when all the fear was coming up, people just kept reflecting that fear back to her. People were saying, well, what about this? What about this, right? And when she actually went in and shifted it within her, almost instantly, within a few hours of really just affirming and practicing and holding that and getting into the space of that, and most importantly, vibrationally aligning with the belief that that was possible for her,
yes,
and it was true, and within a couple hours of that, it happened.
See, and that's where, this is what I'm finally, after hearing this for probably 5 or 6 years now from various sources, our vibration is everything. That should be your first mm-hmm. and foremost concern, not where the rent money is coming from, not what's going to happen at your job today, not whether the relationship is going to work out. Get your freaking vibration right, and everything else falls into place. Can you speak a little bit to that before we take our break, Sara?
Oh, my gosh. And, Sunny, I was the same way. The council talks about vibration, has talked about vibration, and I heard it for a long time, and until it clicked. And this is information that was coming through me.
Right.
and I'm, but I, of all people, believe I have to apply this in my life. None of this works. People tell me sometimes, oh, I know all of this. I've heard this before. And you can have heard it 100,000 times, but if you do not apply it in your life, it doesn't work.
Yes.
So if you apply it in your life, it works. So I'd heard about vibration. We talk a lot about fears and limiting beliefs.
Yep.
And what the council will always tell you is that if your vibration is high enough, the belief doesn't matter.
Yes.
And I also believe that everyone has access to expanded awareness and higher level consciousness. The answer to any question that you have, the inspired actions, the inspired ideas, anything that you're looking for is always available to you in every moment. The shortest possible path to what you want is available to you in this moment if you will raise your vibration to the level of where the answer is. But usually when we're stressed and worried and trying to figure things out on our own, we're in a really heavy, dense vibration, and we feel stuck or overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then we go into our logical brain and try to figure it out, and there's a lot of resistance and reaction that comes up with that.
Yeah.
But your vibration is everything. So if your vibration is high enough, the belief doesn't matter. And that's why really listening to the council's teachings and over and over and over again, they say that while their words are important, it's really a vibrational experience. So every time you're listening and in the energy of it, you're raising your vibration.
Yeah.
And so how do you raise your vibration? This is the most common question that I get from people. And
that's exactly where I was going.
Yes. Yes. So first off, our vibrations are naturally high. The truth of who you are is a vibrational being. If you believe on any level that you're a spiritual being or you're a soul or you have a spirit, that soul is a vibration. And when we come into the physical experience, it automatically adds density and some heaviness to our experience. And so we are viewing life through the lens of the particular vibration of the human experience. But your soul is always at the highest vibration. The vibration that is most closely aligned to the truth of who you are, to your soul, to your spirit, is the vibration of joy.
Yep.
And I don't know about you, Sunny. Actually, I do. So I'll just say, when we were not living our truth, we were in this very heavy, dense vibration of working hard, trying to force everything, making money, working all these hours. And you do feel lost and stuck and unclear and unable to hear your inner voice because you're not in the vibration of it.
Yep.
And so the first thing I tell people to do, whatever's going on, I don't care how big the situation is and what you think you have to figure out and make happen. If you do not get in alignment to the highest vibration, it is always going to feel like you're rolling a boulder up a hill in the mud with big, heavy boots on.
Yes.
And usually before you get to the top of that hill, you sink into the mud and the boulder rolls backwards over you back down to the bottom of the hill.
Right.
Right? So if you notice that your vibration in this moment doesn't feel very good, close your eyes, just stop. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just do this right now. Everybody that's listening, anybody that's listening, no matter when you listen to this, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what can I do right now that would bring me joy? What can I do right now that would bring me joy? And whatever comes to you, go do that thing. And it's usually a pretty simple thing, like go out in nature, or go pet your dog, or go pet your cat, or go play with your children, or go watch your grandchildren, or call someone you love. And sometimes just asking that question, now just asking that question shifts me into a vibration where I instantly smile because there's really nothing I need to do. I'm in this moment, and if I'm just present to this moment, I feel that vibration of joy.
Yeah.
So you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and smile, and you will feel that joy. But what are the things that raise your vibration? Listening to beautiful music, doing something you love to do, being creative, being in nature, being with people you love, being with animals, writing, journaling, painting, cooking, dancing, working out, take a walk. Any of these things can help raise your vibration. And if you will make your vibration the most important thing, I promise you that anything in your life is possible for you. But you must first get into vibrational alignment. So can I just expand on this quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we want something in our life, first off, you must understand that you would not even have the dream in your heart. You would not even have the desire if the vibrational reality of that thing that you want did not already exist.
Yes.
You would not be able to get the image of it in your mind or in your imagination if the vibrational reality didn't exist, which means it is possible for you and there is a path to it. And if you will get in alignment, which means to align with your vibration, it will unfold for you in an easy, effortless, harmonious way. The path will unfold if you will just allow it. But what happens is when we go into that space where we have an idea or an inspired idea, or we use our imagination and we come up with this, or we're an image or a desire or an idea is placed within you, we tend to try to figure it out, and then we go into resistance and reaction.
Yep.
How it happens, when it happens, who it happens with is not up to you. But what you want, holding that image of what you want, that dream, that desire in your heart, if you will get in vibrational alignment to it, it has to happen. But if there is a belief in there, and this is a wonderful thing. When you get good at this process, life is absolutely magical every single day.
Yep.
there's never going to be anything where if right now in this moment you manifested and created everything that you wanted, tomorrow morning when you wake up, you will have a new desire, if not sooner. So there's never an end to wanting more, to having new desires, to having new ideas and pursuing them. There's never going to be an end to that. You are here creating always.
Yes.
But it can get easier and you can get better at it. But if there is a belief inside of you that says, so here's another one we're working with right now. You'll love this, Sunny.
Okay.
I am worthy of having it all. I am worthy of having it all.
You are going exactly all of the places that I have. If you could just see my outline, Sara. I'm wondering, okay, so should we take our break now and unpack that one when we get back? Because
yes, let's do it.
Okay, and I will just say, actually, I'll add one more thing on the vibrational for how that looks in my life. For those who've been listening regularly, you know that February and March were hard months for me for a variety of reasons. Had some personal loss, some sickness, and some other things. But the bottom line, whether it was the chicken or the egg, my vibration was low. My vibration was really low. And every time I tried to create, it felt like I was pushing the boulder uphill. But when I got back into my spiritual practice, which for me means starting my day with prayers, a little meditation, reading something meaningful, listening to the council, it means getting proper sleep at night. It means not drinking alcohol the night before if I want to have an inspired, energetic day because it's still in my system and I can feel it. It means a variety of things, and it's going to be unique for everyone. But keeping my vibration high means every day practicing those things that support my body and support my spirit in my body so that I am connected to Source, so that when I sit down at my desk or sit down with a client, I am a clear vessel for divine love that needs to come through. And when I do that, it is amazing. I can step away from my computer and come back, and there is a new client inquiry waiting for me. I can be at a networking event and someone invites me to be on their show or something like that. When I am in that space, the breadcrumbs appear without me doing a gosh darn thing. They are just there because I am in alignment. Yet when I step away from that alignment, like in February and March where I wasn't, whatever I created kind of turned to dust. It was forced and it didn't have life in it. It wasn't connected to something bigger. So I just would say for me, staying in alignment is a daily practice. So sorry, I didn't mean to get on my soapbox.
Yes. No, I'm so glad you said that. I'm absolute agreement with all of it. And after the break, I'll tell you the one additional crazy thing that if you will do it, will absolutely help you raise your vibration. It's probably not the thing you would ever consider, but it's along the lines of what you just said. But yes, that was awesome.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to leave that one on a cliffhanger. You are listening to Sunny in Seattle. My guest is Sara Landon. You can find out more over the break by going to SaraLandon.com. That's SARA, SaraLandon.com. And when we come back, you will find out that final element of alignment. See you in a few. Are you ready to get unstuck from a bad marriage and embrace your best life? If you're anything like me, you may have spent years creating a life that looks pretty good on paper. There's just one problem. Your marriage is unhappy and unfulfilling, but you're too scared to trade your comfortable life for a future full of unknowns. In my new book, Unhitched, I will give you the tools you need to make the right decisions about your marriage, as well as the confidence that your future can be better and brighter than you can even imagine. I share my own very personal story, and I will guide you through a clear process that will enable you to answer the question, should I stay or should I go? It's a process that will help you tune out fears and unwanted advice, and instead tune into your own intuition and inner wisdom, as well as exit a marriage gracefully and feel secure about your future. Get ready to trade confusion and stagnation for your best life. Unhitched, unlock your courage and clarity and unstick your bad marriage. Available for pre-order today on Amazon.com.
After countless tries to find healing for a devastating low back pain, Dr. Andy Marone met with his mentor and discovered a balance and clarity he never thought possible. He left his job as a software engineer and began a lifelong journey of learning the power of quality chiropractic care and enzyme nutrition, and never looked back. He believes in not just treating pain, but removing roadblocks and paving the way to a happy and healthy life. Join Dr. Andy's Wellness Corner, Mondays from 9 to 10 a.m. on Seattle's Alternative Talk, AM 1150.
Sunny in Seattle, radio that positively shines.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, hi, I'm Rebecca Callahan. I host a show each and every Wednesday at 1 p.m. called Soulful Synchronicities. I want you to start noticing those synchronicities that are happening every day in your life. Plus, I'm here to help you empower yourself to find that happy you might have only dreamt of before, but so richly deserve. Let's grow together, shall we? Look for it. Soulful Synchronicities with me, Rebecca Callahan, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. right here on 1150 KKNW.
Notice anything different? You should. There's no other station like Alternative Talk, 1150 AM.
Welcome back to Sunny in Seattle. I'm your host, Sunny Joy, joined today by Sara Landon, who is a spiritual advisor for folks with big dreams and also a channel for a group of non-physical beings called The Council. So before the break, Sara, I want to just interject real quick because I'm glad that you reminded me. We have this awesome free gift for you guys. All you have to do is go to the Sunny in Seattle radio Facebook page. You don't have to follow it. You don't even have to like it. You don't have to do anything, but go to the page, and there is a link there, and you will get access to, it's about a 6-hour webinar with the council. So you can get it's not even just a taste, it's a deep dive with the council. And it's all about how to step into your life's purpose, inspired to greatness. Sara, do you want to say anything more about that before we dive into our conversation again?
Yeah, just really quickly. This is one of my favorite courses that we've done. It's all downloadable audio course. You can download it or stream it directly from your phone. And it's really asking the question, is there a greatness within you that you have yet to reveal to the world? And really asking yourself that question. So it's all about stepping into living your life's purpose, how you create more joy and love and purpose and meaning in your life, as well as igniting your passion and your creativity. These are things that I get questions about all the time. I've lost my passion. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I don't have any creativity. And it's such an important part of living your purpose and bringing your gifts to the world is really learning how to cultivate that passion and that creativity. And so in this course, so it's a 3-part downloadable audio course, each piece is about an hour and a half long, and you can listen to it anywhere. And it will not only help you raise your vibration, but it's bringing in the tools and the processes and the information that you need to help you really step into living your purpose and activate your passion and cultivate greater levels of creativity, which in turn will help you find more joy and love and purpose and meaning in your life. So absolutely go. It's a $97 course. It's free. Go download it at the Facebook page. If you love that and you want more, or even if you just love it, enjoy it, like it, want more vibration, want more of the council, we have a all-new live course starting on June 21st, and that is called Live Your Greatest Calling, How to Create Your Best Life Possible. And if you go to my website, saralandon.com, SaraLandon, the second slider there, if you just click on that, it says Live Your Greatest Calling. It'll route you directly to more information about how you can register to join that course. Or you can click Attend on the website, and it will connect you to more information about how you can register for the new live upcoming course. But yes, take advantage of that free gift. I listened to it, some of it again yesterday, just getting ready to prepare it for you all. And oh my gosh, it was amazing. I couldn't turn it off. So definitely download that.
Yes. And again, for those out there, that is the Sunny in Seattle radio Facebook page. And if you have any trouble or you're not on Facebook, you can always connect with me on my website, goldenoversoul.com, and I will help you figure it out. So we want everybody to have this that wants it, because it is amazing. So, oh gosh, I'm like so frustrated looking at how little time we have left because I have so many things. But I want to make sure. So our cliffhanger that we left on the break was how to stay aligned. And you said you had a tip in addition to the things I mentioned. What is that?
So I love what you said. It's so important. And usually when we go through something stressful, like work is really busy, or we're going through issues in our relationship, or we move, or we get stressed about money, whatever it is, we stop doing all the things that help us be our best self.
Yep.
And that's really what you were saying, that in times when you're going through difficult times, it's more important than ever to do all the things that help you be your best self, because your vibration will naturally rise if you do those things. So you mentioned getting enough sleep, not drinking or eating things that don't make you feel good, not, limiting or eliminating alcohol, eating foods that are good for you, getting exercise, getting outside, doing your meditation practice. But there's something else that's really, really, really important, and you might not think about it. Drinking enough water.
Yeah, that's
Drinking
so simple.
water will help you raise your vibration. Most of us are dehydrated, and when we're dehydrated, our body can't reach that higher vibrational level. So sometimes people can be doing all the right things, but they're just not drinking enough water. And if they start drinking enough water, they will instantly, within a couple of days, start feeling better and really naturally find themselves in a higher vibration, in a better mood, and feeling good. So be sure you're drinking enough water. This is something that came in through the council of rest, water, doing things that are fun for you are all really key pieces of your vibration. So I now drink a gallon of water a day, and I am in a channeled state receiving the council many hours a day, which is a really extraordinary high vibration. And the thing that I believe makes that possible for me without getting tired or overwhelmed is that I drink so much water. So I really encourage you to try that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a simple one that I was expecting something like stand on your head and whatever pose and whatever. No.
And then drink water.
And then yeah, exactly. Okay. So, Sara, I want to piggyback on some things we've already talked about, because this has been one of the biggest issues for me. Because once I get in that state of alignment, the other component of it, for at least the last several years of my life, is trusting that, as you said earlier in the show, that there is a divine plan. But the part where I get stuck is, as a human, I want to see it now. I want my business immediately successful. I want my book to have millions of readers, and I want it now. And when that is not happening in my physical reality, I begin to lose faith. I begin to not trust, and then those vibrations of fear and resistance come in. It's like, how do we hold being human at the same time as we are trusting? Like, I just cannot get enough validation that we can trust that the divine plan will unfold if we will just be patient.
Oh, such a good question. And I think most people struggle with this. I think this is the loop people get in, and they just continue to get in this loop over and over and over again, and in resistance and reaction to what is. So let's talk about it. First off, when you have the idea or the dream in your heart of, I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to start a new business, or anything, right? We have talked about the law of attraction a lot, but what we don't talk about is the law of gestation. And let me give you the perfect example of this. If you decide you want to have a child or a baby, when two people decide they want to have a baby, they create a baby, they find out they're pregnant, and it doesn't happen the baby doesn't come that day. Mm-hmm. It doesn't come the day you decide you want one. It doesn't come the day you get pregnant. There is a gestation period to all things. And you wouldn't want the baby to be born early. You don't want it to come in 3 months. You want it to go full term, so it's a healthy, happy baby when it comes into the world.
Right.
And so we take maybe the most precious gift in the world, which is life, giving life and birthing life, and we have no control over that. That baby has trillions of little cells that are forming and developing and connecting that you have no control over. You are trusting fully in the divine, in creation, in the universe, in source, to create every perfect little detail of that child that's being birthed in the world. And yet that example makes perfect sense to us. But then when we think about a business or a relationship or moving or manifesting money, we think we have to figure it all out and do it all on our own. And no way are we going to trust source or the divine, because there's no intelligence out there, right? We believe that there's not something else going on here. There's not an intelligence that's aware of us that is helping orchestrate these things for us.
Yes.
And so I like to remind people that the law of gestation is just as important as the law of attraction. There is a time that it takes that seed within your heart to grow and blossom. And it's a perfect analogy of a seed, because we plant a seed and we cover it with nourishing soil and we water it and the sun shines on it. And it takes a little while, but then it sprouts up above the ground and it grows and it blossoms and it becomes a beautiful flower or a tree or whatever. But if we go dig up the seed and constantly look at whether it's happening and say, oh, it's not happening, nothing's happening, right? We kill it. And it's the same with your own dreams. If you get an inspired idea or an inspired action from a high vibrational place, the more you can stay in that high vibrational place, the faster it will manifest. But the journey to those things really is the beautiful part. And
well,
it is.
And it also is the part where a lot of people have a lot of suffering, too.
Right. It's true. But we are causing our own suffering.
Right. Exactly.
Because we think it's not happening and we feel stuck and we don't see it moving. It was so cute. I had this woman on a call that I did on Monday, and she got on the phone and she said, everything in my life is changing. I'm moving to a new place and a new job, and I feel stuck. But I'm stuck, she said. I was like, you're moving to a new place, you have a new job, how could you be stuck?
Right.
But her point was that, she's not seeing everything. She's not seeing the final picture, right? We just see one step at a time. And that's a really good thing, because in this moment is the shortest possible path to what you want. And if you will be aligned in this moment and present in this moment and in a high vibration, just like the examples you gave earlier, you show up at the networking meeting and someone offers you an interview. You go out and do the things that bring you joy and you're passionate about and get in alignment to your dreams, and a new client pops up in your email. You just get in a flow of life that feels so good. Your job, though, and this is so easy once you get this, all you have to do is be aware that when you get in motion to something new, a new dream, a new desire, a new idea, that any fear that you have that keeps you from it or limiting belief, it's going to come to the surface. And that's where we usually get stuck. But that is a really good thing, because your job is to bring those things to the light, to let those things come to your awareness, out from behind your subconscious mind to your present awareness. That, I say the word, I am worthy of having it all. I am worthy of having it all. But if you say that and you get into the vibration of that and you start imagining what that looks like for you, what would it feel like to have it all? Then what happens is any belief within you that is not congruent and aligned to you having it all is going to come to the surface. Let it come to the light so that you can release it and let it go. If people start triggering you, if you start getting triggered by situations, it's not about them. It's always about you. If you can remember, anytime someone else is upsetting you or triggering you, they are reflecting back to you a belief you have about yourself, a belief within you. And instead of getting triggered, if you can stop and really take a moment and look at what's coming up for you, if you will just let it come to the light, Source will do the rest and help you shift it.
Yeah, because self-worth was a huge thing on my outline today, and you alluded to it. You had a really nice affirmation earlier in the show. What will you repeat that one again around self-worth, Sarah?
Everything is always working out for me.
No, and there was another one about, I'm worthy of having it all.
Yeah, I am worthy of having it all.
Yeah.
I am worthy of having it all. So this is what's up big time right now. The council has talked about it. They brought it in. So as part of my master's class program, we do a transformation forecast for the month at the beginning of the month, and they talk about what's coming up for people and what's coming in. And so this month, trust, vulnerability, big, big, big. But it's all about your self-worth, owning your value, and confidence. Sometimes the challenge with trust is not that you don't trust God or source or that everything's always working out for you, but you don't trust yourself. Trust is almost always, I would like to say always, I think it is always, about whether you trust yourself or not. And so people will say, well, I don't trust myself, or I don't trust because all these things that happened in the past. And what I have found is we always can tell by our intuition whether something is right for us or not.
Yes.
But what's happened in our lives is prior to now, we didn't have the power within us. We didn't know our own power. We didn't have this level of awareness. We weren't living at this state of consciousness and aware of our vibration. So when our intuition was trying to guide us to what was right for us or not, we second-guessed ourselves, and we usually went against our intuition. And when you do that, you learn to not trust yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not about trusting God or source or the universe or the divine. It's about trusting yourself. In all situations, the intuition was there. You just didn't listen to it. And oh my gosh, I can tell you there are so many things in my life that I got the intuition and I ignored it and did it anyway.
Yeah, you and me both, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when we stop trusting ourselves or trusting source or God or the divine.
Yeah. And gosh, I just want to make sure, Sarah, because you mentioned we've got just less than 2 minutes left. I want to make sure for people out there who want to connect with you further, the website is saralandon.com, SaraLandon. And she mentioned the master's class. I'm a member. Sarah, just real quickly, 30-second spiel on what the master's class is. I have found it incredibly beneficial in my life.
Yes, so I was guided about a year ago to start the master's class program to really help people apply this information in their everyday life. So as part of the master's class program, it's only $39 a month. You get $50 off a private session with me. You get 20% off of all webinars and products and ebooks. But more importantly, you get a weekly coaching call. I do a weekly coaching call every Wednesday where I basically have the same conversation like what we're having here, talking about how to apply this stuff in your life. And when we talk about self-worth, we go really deep into self-worth. I take questions. I take live Q&A from people in the master's class. Every single week we do a weekly coaching call. And probably the best part of the master's class is twice a month I do a live channeled message from the council, which includes a Q&A. So they will talk about what's going on for us, what's going on individually in our lives, what's going on in the collective, so that you're prepared and you're working on it and you're getting ready for it. Right now, we are in this huge time of really having the opportunity to have it all, whatever that means for you. The next 3 months are hugely powerful and hugely energetic, vibrationally aligned to supporting you in creating your dreams and desires. And the council talks about what we need to do to prepare. So there's 2 calls, the first Sunday of the month and the third Sunday of the month, where everybody in the master's class gets on, or you can listen to the replays. And it is the thing that I have seen that is helping people go so much deeper, so much farther, so much faster, and living these teachings to create more wealth, better health, abundance, joy, love, manifesting the relationships they want, the career, the business, the living your purpose.
Yes.
And it's one of my greatest joys to do that.
And I couldn't agree more, and I can vouch for it. That's what's in my emotional speed dial list, or those recordings. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. Sarah, thank you for being my extra special return guest.
Oh, I just love you so much. I'm so grateful to be here, and I love this audience. When we posted this on YouTube, we get so many amazing comments back from your community and the replays of these calls, and just beautiful, beautiful people. So thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your Friday and a wonderful weekend.
Yes, I second that. Thanks for listening. This is Sunny Joy for Sunny in Seattle, signing off.